welcoming in people in as people are coming in. Oh boy, I there's a lot of things I agree with, and there's just some things that you can do that will make me regret the day you got in office. Anytime a U.S. president in his time in office, while playing this troll game against the communists, that would commit a communist action to try to bring something back that would be proper through the legislator. The legislator has to override the Supreme Court and put in specific things that made it against the law or made it against a constitutional right. And flag burning, as much as I would never burn a flag, I would never burn a flag. No matter how aggravated I was, I would put it upside down on my post and say it's under duress. But that's like burning, rioting in your neighborhoods and burning your neighborhoods down, right? It doesn't make sense to me why you would burn your flag if you love your country. If you love this country, we're not talking about that flag is not attached to the dumb leaders that have made mistakes in the past. It's attached to World War I and World War II. Remember all those people that died for that flag. And I'm sure his intentions are right. This moron right here, this narcissistic moron right here, I'm sure his intentions are right. But unfortunately, it's a constitutional prevention. There's case law on it. It was a 5-4 decision. The Supreme Court has ruled that it's lawful for people, freedom of expression. When you go against the First Amendment, and we are First Amendment advocate out here. I'm a First Amendment advocate. As much as I love that flag, I'm not going to stop somebody and put them in jail for burning a flag, okay? I might have disdain for it. I might be against it, but that's their right to do it. Now, if they're sitting there burning it in the name of coming from another country, that's why I'm saying they need to make preventions. If you're coming to this country to incite riots in our streets, to say America is terrible and fuck America, I got a problem with you. Yeah, there should be some preventions in this. And maybe that's what Congress needs to do. I'm going to call my local legislator or pack up and go down there for a day and speak to the 12th and the 13th District of Michigan. Okay? And to see what we could do about this on their level, that the Supreme Court could look at and say, okay, revisit this and say, well, we got people that are not U.S. citizens coming into this country inciting riots because of other things that they think that they have rights on, which I don't think they do because they're not U.S. citizens. They do have rights, human rights, but they don't have the right to commit misdemeanors and felonies. They don't have those rights. I'm sorry. If you feel that way, you're a criminal. You're just, because you're aiding and abetting criminals. I'm not a criminal. I might have committed a crime 33 years ago, but I'll be damned if I'm a criminal. And the point I'm making is that this guy right here committed a criminal action, in my opinion. And I'm gonna let it play out for you guys to listen to it. And you guys can tell me how you feel. And definitely leave a comment and let me know how you feel about it. I mean, you Americans that are in here, the majority of you Americans, how do you feel about people coming on the outside? Coming from outside this country and burning flags because they don't like a couple of our policies that they don't even have a right to have a say on. Because it's not that would be like me going over there talking about get rid of the president here because she enables the cartels. You know what happened to me, right? You see the double standard there? Because I'm talking about what would happen to me. Do you see the double standard there? People here in the United States need to start understanding who you are and what your self-worth is. And you need to know your... Look, I want everybody that can hear the sound of my voice to go to your local library. And there's a book, and I'm not trying to call you out your name. I'm not trying to say that you are dumb. I am literally referring you to a book. It says the Constitution for Dummies on it, quote unquote. Okay? All right? The Constitution for Dummies. And look at that. And read that and try to get a basic understanding of what the first, fourth, fifth, sixth, eighth, 10th amendments are and the Bill of Rights are, so that you can understand who you are, what your self-worth is, who you are in the United States. Okay? Mods, thanks for joining me. I love you guys. Everybody that has supported me, that has subscribed to this channel. Thanks for subscribing. You guys, we got 106 people in here. Hit those likes. Bring them likes up. Wow, you serious? We only got 3 likes? Anyways, so get to the point. What I'm talking, and William, you do your thing. As far as I don't care about no PayPal. Just put my my link in there. So the point I'm making is that what we're looking at here and what I'm about to play is the President of the United States pulling a Nazi move. He literally signed an order stating that you cannot burn the flag. We have case law on this. It's so easy to look up, I'm not even going to look it up. If you don't know it, you look it up. You'll get the understanding why I am telling you that everything that Democrats up to this point have been wrong on, they're right on now. Because, they're right about him violating the Constitution. He just did. He signed an executive order stating that you cannot burn a flag. I'm sorry. As much as I agree with him that you should not, you cannot criminalize a constitutionally protected activity. I'm going to stick to my guns no matter what. And if I'm going to, if I want people to take me serious, I can't contradict myself just because I have the same common sense that he has on it. Doesn't make it right. I'm telling you, it don't make it right. What he's doing is violating the Constitution. He's going against the Constitution. It's a constitutional prevention. Hell, we even have it in our state. it basically is talking about people that work for the government. These laws that he's talking about, it's more of a policy for them not to. And they should follow it as a policy and not as a law. Because they work for it. You know what I'm saying? That would be like you going inside protesting against the government inside your work area and start putting graffiti on the wall, saying what's constitutionally protected, but destroying property at the same time. You can't do that. So that's why I'm saying it's more of a policy for them, and that executive order would now follow every police officer. That's the good part out of it. But the bad part about it is if a citizen wanted to do it. And I don't know, I might burn my first flag because of it. Because it goes against the American value of freedom of expression. We are allowed to express ourselves. We are allowed, it's in the First Amendment. Freedom of speech. Free to protest. Free to redress your government. Freedom of religion. And last but not least, freedom to assemble. That's in the very First Amendment. He's violating it. I never thought that I would come out with this much disdain for this piece of garbage. Because, look, they're all narcissistic pieces of garbage to me. They're all the same. I don't really get political. I really don't. It doesn't pay to get political. Because people, it's too damn divisive. And they got people arguing. But I'm telling you, with every conviction that I have, he's violating the Constitution. And check it out. Let's listen to it.
For a decision, they called it freedom of speech. But there's another reason, which is perhaps much more important. It's called death. Because what happens...
Listen to him articulate it. He articulates his crime. Listen to it. Because what he's committing is treason right here. Listen. He says it was a 5-4 decision. He knows it. He knew this. And he signed it knowing it. That's called malice. Watch.
The other things he did to destroy our country. Let's go.
Lastly, sir, this is an executive order on flag burning. It charges your attorney general.
Would you listen to this? This is what happened. Flag burning. All over the country, they're burning flags. All over the world, they burn the American flag. And as you know, through a very sad court, I guess it was a 5-4 decision, they called it freedom of speech. But there's another reason, which is perhaps much more important. It's called death.
When you commit a crime against the United States and the United States people, being a public servant, it's treason. Go look it up. It's in the Constitution. It's the only effing law in the Constitution, which tells me you don't know what you're talking about.
Because what happens when you burn a flag...
Look at that, guys. Look at this guy that's telling me I don't know what I'm talking about.
If you have hundreds of people...
He's fronting himself off.
You can do other things. You can burn this piece of...
He's got to be a bootlicker.
But when you burn the American flag, it incites riots at levels that we've never seen before. People go crazy. In a way, both ways.
Now he's gaslighting
They're
us.
going crazy for doing it. There are others that are angry about that.
Let me go back over it again. Because I was pointing out the ignoramus. It's probably a pig. I got a lot of pigs that are subscribed to me.
Law enforcement efforts in the city, and to potentially look at unwinding those that are stopping the police from doing their job effectively.
And are we going to ask this to be codified by Congress, all of these things?
I think we could potentially, yes, sir.
What he's doing there is constitutional, Everything up to that point was constitutional. Whether you agree with it or not, it's written in the Constitution that gives him the right to legalize that. I don't agree turning the military against the people, but yeah, it's in the Constitution. It's a constitutional provision. He could do it. So I'm not that upset about that over spilled milk because it's already constitutional. But what the very next thing he does is violate the Constitution. Hold up a second.
The whole auto pen scam.
Sir.
Because the person that ran it said because number one, you shouldn't use it. He wasn't for open borders. 5-4 decision.
All right, there it is. There it is. All right, listen. He articulates it. Listen.
Flag burning. All over the country, they're burning flags. All over the world, they burn the American flag. And as you know, through a very sad court, I guess it was a 5-4 decision, they called it freedom of speech. But there's another reason, which is perhaps much more important. It's called death. Because
They called it freedom of speech. He's signing it, in my opinion. He just signed his. I don't even like to say it like that, but when you commit treason against the American people, and commit 242, and conspire with the Attorney General, sit behind him, committing 241, which is conspiracy under Title 18. Called deprivation of rights under the color of law. That's what this is.
happens when you burn a flag is the area goes crazy. If you have hundreds of people, they go crazy. You can do other things. You can burn this piece of paper. But when you burn the American flag, it incites riots.
I agree.
At levels that we've never seen before. People go crazy. In a way, both ways. There's some that are going crazy for doing it. There are others that are.
I agree. Honestly, I agree, but you cannot break the law. You cannot. It's already settled case law. See, this is what Hitler did, man. When old boy was sick, and the chancellor had to sit down. You know, and when Hitler in 1933 took the reins and started doing whatever he wanted to, that's what this guy is being accused of already with constitutional provision. So there's already constitutional precedent for what he's done in DC. And he's allowed to do it. And he's going to get it codified. You guys know what codified means, right? He's going to take it to the Article 1, and they're going to sign it into law like they did in 1983 or 1984. And they're probably going to go for it. There'll be just enough people to pass that, because nobody wants their streets taken up the way it is, and it looking the way it is when they can buy everybody a house. That's my opinion. I'm just telling you, there's too many homeless people that are being ignored, that instead of giving all these other countries all this money, we could be buying these people homes. And if they want to OD in their homes and die, so be it. But at least they ain't crapping and peeing and throwing their nasty needles on our sidewalks. I would rather buy them a home and let them die that way. Because they'll all die off. That's because that's what's happening. And they keep doing it. But that's another story. The point I'm making to you is that this guy right here is seriously sick in the head to write an executive order that violates the Constitution. And he articulated it himself. He said, I know it was a 5-4 decision, but that shouldn't have happened. No, that's not how you do. But we already, even though they are a separate branch of power, and every state under the 10th Amendment could actually, if they wanted to, they can write it into their laws. Right? But it's still against the law federally, and they could still be charged federally. And that is one of the constitutional preventions that he signed today as well. Because he's saying DC will not charge. We're taking jurisdiction, and we want to put all these people in federal holding, and so he's ending cashless bail. I agree with that one, because that one hasn't been to the Supreme Court yet. I think murderers and rapists and people that are definitely a threat to society should have a bail. They should have a high bail to make sure that they don't hurt nobody. Well, you can't protect people because they get right back out there and do it again. And we already know this. And this is not up for debate, because I know there's not a lot of criminality out of here, and there's a lot of criminals that watch me. Just because you think I did a 5-year bit doesn't mean that I haven't learned my lesson and that I don't love my country enough to follow simple ground rules of not creating victims, not hurting nobody, keeping my hands to myself, etc., etc. But freedom of speech, you can't mess with that. You can't. No, under no circumstance. My conviction is, as a dying man, my convictions tells me a lot. My conscience, it's more, how would I put it? It means more to me now than it ever has. Because you're going to see your maker soon. And it's like you don't want to be wrong on purpose. You don't want to be wrong on purpose. And it's like, when you see this crap, being an advocate, being a First Amendment advocate, and being an activist and doing what I've done, if I was to agree with this, that means everything I did was in vain. Because I'm saying that it's just because these people violate the Constitution, just because cops violate the Constitution, just because our leaders and our public servants do it, doesn't mean that I have to. A lot of people have this attitude, well, if you can't beat them, join them. F that, man. Go back to this stuff. Listen to him articulate his crime.
He was never very sharp, but he was never in favor of open borders and all of the other things he did to destroy our country. Let's go.
Honestly, sir, this is an executive order on flag burning. It charges your attorney general.
Would you listen to this? This is very important. Flag burning. All over the country, they're burning flags. All over the world, they burn the American flag. And as you know, through a very sad court, I guess it was a 5-4 decision, they called it freedom of speech. But there's another reason, which is perhaps much more important. It's called death. Because what happens when you burn a flag is the area goes crazy. If you have hundreds of people, they go crazy. You can do other things. You can burn this piece of paper. But when you burn the American flag, it incites riots at levels that we've never seen before. People go crazy. in a way, both ways. There are some that are going crazy for doing it. There are others that are angry
No, he didn't.
about them doing it.
Burning the flag is still
Do you want to discuss
allowable under the supreme law of the land.
Charges your Department of Justice with investigating instances of flag burning, and then where there's evidence of criminal activity, where prosecution wouldn't fall afoul of the First Amendment, and instructs the Department of Justice to prosecute.
So take it to the legislators.
Engaged in these instances of flag burning.
And what the penalty is going to be, if you
See if it
burn a
passed
flag,
the smell
you get
test.
1 year in jail, no early exits, no nothing. You get 1 year in jail. If you burn a flag,
Yeah, right.
you get. And what it does is incite to riot. I hope they use that language, by the way. Did that? Incite to riot. And you burn a flag, you get 1 year in jail. You don't get 10 years, you don't get 1 month. You get 1 year in jail, and it goes on your record. And you will see flag burning stopping immediately, just like when I signed the Statute and Monument Act. 10 years in jail.
Takes balls to come out here and talk like this.
They were gone.
Takes balls like this to come out here. Ain't nobody in the 1A to come out here and talk about this like I am. Nobody will. It's very controversial. They know they have to go against their own just to appease you or YouTube. I'm not trying to appease nobody. What I'm trying to is stick to my ethics and my rules and how I feel about it. And I believe in the Constitution. Just because these guys are screwing it up doesn't mean that I'm screwing it up. If I live by my principles and live by those simple principles, not creating victims, not hurting nobody, not stealing, not killing, not robbing. Okay? It's the law of Moses. It's just that simple. You go to my local, you'll see it. That's what my local stands for. There's so many people against that. So many people against it. It's unreal. I can't help it that people don't have morals or values anymore. It's not my problem. And that's why Christ said in the 5 books in the New Testament, he said, you will die for my name's sake. He said it. Because there's so many people out there that are coming from so many different places that are breaking U.S. constitutional rules, that are voting that shouldn't be voting in the United States. And you got our leadership. And if you're a Democrat, I'm not dogging you. I'm just dogging your leadership. Just like I would my all the rest of my leadership in the Republican side. All of them. They're all my leadership, whether I like it or not. Yeah, those are the same sons of bitches that'll come into your house and take whatever the fuck they want. You can sit there and talk all that shit you want, but when you go out and violate laws, them are the same sons of bitches that'll come and put the clinks on you. The same people that you uphold are the same people that will do that to you. So be careful who you put yourself behind. Be careful backing the blue the way you do. Be careful. I get along with cops. Hey man, look. I get along with cops in Taylor. I get along with cops in Southgate. I get along with cops in Lincoln Park. I get along with cops. There's even a couple in Wyandotte. Yeah, a couple. There's even a couple in Wyandotte I'll listen to. I'm telling you, man, this crap right here, this is bad. What he's doing is trolling half of the country. Because they trolled him. The difference is, we're talking about anywhere from 75 to 80 million people. That's what I'm talking about. That's who he's trolling. And they each have a voice. Now, The other side don't have no leadership. They're all over the place. They got people speaking out of turns. They don't know how to be professional. They're out there running their mouths, saying things that you would normally not get away with. They're allowing them to do that. You do know that, right? Remember, they are the wing of the same bird, so they got the same brain, as I told you. Nothing's going to change that. So every time they go abracadabra, right? Every time they're out there doing this, and you got these people running their mouths, they're about to do something really messed up, and they're all in conspiracy with it. Don't let them fool you. And this is how Hitler started his shit. Don't think the next president won't do the same thing. Whether it's Republican or Democrat, it doesn't matter. They're going to keep doing this shit. And the only way to stop it, don't go out there and incite riots. Don't go out there and start a race war because you see more people of color on a certain side than you would the other. Don't you dare allow your prejudices and racism leave that shit at the door coming here. We don't play that shit. But I know because if you was to look me up, I am a registered Democrat. And I was for a long time, being a union member. But the fact of the matter is that I learned over the years. It took me a while. And then I started getting some morals and values. I got children to raise, man. I can't let my children act like this in society just because I grew up in a democracy that was a republic that there was a rebellion going on, and people wanted to do drugs. I grew up when rap, rock, crack, and heroin hit us all like a subway train. It was out there already, but it wasn't as bad as it was from before into the 80s in my time. And I say this to people with great dental. I mean this with all my heart. I have nothing against people in general. And I don't blame people if they want to come to this country. Just try to get it right, man. Quit going against values and morals because somebody's got your back. Quit destroying something that will keep the rest of the world in check. Don't you understand? If the U.S. wasn't the U.S., Mexico wouldn't even have a fucking governor, let alone any politicians. They would all be infiltrated. You think it's bad now? Get rid of the U.S. government. Same thing in over there across the pond. Same thing everywhere else. You honestly think that those wars, you honestly think that China would not invade? You know what? Yeah. You don't think North Korea would go up into South Korea? Yeah. We're stopping a lot of shit as a country. And more people need to be appreciative. So when you talk about that flag and in this country, you remember World War I and World War II. Could have been a bunch of Peckerwoods with blue eyes and blonde hair. Remember that. Eugenics could have been 100%. And those of you that don't understand it, look what Margaret Sanger tried to do. Yeah. I'll do a thing on it later and I'll show you because I tricked I tricked AI, and I asked some questions specifically so it would be truthful with other information, and it gave it to me. And you'd be surprised on how much eugenics ran against people of color, and how AI was tricked into saying it. I'm telling you, I screenshotted that. I fucking printed it just in case, and I'll make a PDF of it and put it back up. But it just goes to show that common sense is still out there if you want it, and if you understand it. And what this guy's doing, he's a smart guy, and he's a rich man, and he's a narcissist. He doesn't give a shit about nobody else but himself. I don't know how far he's going to take this, because he's been trolled into oblivion. New York has violated his constitutional rights. If you think somebody deserves, let me give you a point of clarification. For a point of clarification, there is no justification for any of this and what I'm about to say. If you think it's okay to tase somebody and hurt somebody because you think they did something that you didn't like, there's something wrong with you. If you think it's okay because you don't like other people, let them go to jail, then it's okay for you to go to jail then too. You're talking against yourself and you don't even know it. You speak against yourself. If you say it's okay for somebody else to go to jail, I'm going to tell you this right now, you do it to yourself. So, using the dope fiend move and using lawfare against people you don't like, isn't that what this community is all about? The First Amendment community? I tried to tell you they violated his rights under color of law, and they're going after him. Pam Bondi's going to do it. But everything that he just did in front of her, he just committed a crime in front of her. That means she's conspiracy to it. So everything she does from this point is moot to me. I don't know, man. People might disagree with me, and that's okay. That's why we live in an awesome country. But don't hate me for it. You don't have to hate me. I fully understand I understand his intent. I really do. So far, his intent, from what I see in his actions, is that every time you see something negative, it's in response. You got to remember, he's responding to people. It always has been. It's been a pissing contest between the right and the left. And they put us in the middle of it, and y'all fall for it. Don't. As that other asshole said, just don't. when he told Putin not to invade Ukraine. Just don't. Yeah, right. Putin admitted just a couple Fridays ago, if Donald Trump was president, he would not have invaded. He admitted that. So, it is what it is. That's like the cops stopping the bad guys before they go into the bank, and they're all armed, and they're like, no, don't do that. I'm telling you, I'm going to leave, But don't you do that when I'm gone and then get and leave. What do you think's gonna happen? Come on, man. It doesn't take a GD to figure this shit out. Yeah. There's a lot of good points being made in here. And there's just a lot of trolling going on because people is. And it is crazy. You're right. It is. Let me go back and read some of this. I see people ain't behaving themselves, so they're getting knocked out. But who cares if I wait? Who cares? Yeah, I try all the time, huh? Yeah, I agree. I mean, stress testing the Constitution is one thing, right? But to sign an executive order where there's already the U.S. Supreme Court has just ruled on it, and they keep like watching it over and over again. Yeah, it is funny sometimes. Some of this is funny and some of it's real. I get it. All right, see you, Jonathan. You know, I think a lot of people are ticked off at me because I won't pick a side. Too bad. Don't get your feelings hurt. Because I'm not going to. I'm not going to pick a side that's being argumentative with the other side. Because we're all Americans here, man. It's the same thing that people that get like ostracized if they ask the question, why is the 1A not getting along? And you start fronting some of these people off that have bigger channels, and it gets back to them, and then you start getting trolled. Oh my God, it is a marginalization with identity politics, and that's what they don't understand. That is the major indicator that shows that they are Democrats. Republicans don't do that. They just ignore you. They don't like to argue with people. They don't like to come out of their comfort zone. They'll just let you sit there like you're arguing with a stop sign or something, you know. And I just sit back and I'm like, wow, look at this. People don't even realize that they're giving their positions away. And they don't care, but they say, I don't got a political bone in my body. And then they're all in a freaking DM somewhere, or what do they call that? That Russian-made one, I forget. Whatever it is. And they're all bullshitting with people and laughing at each other. Yeah, see, we do this, we do that. Look, just know this, Ray. I'm going to play this one more time. This guy has got the Attorney General behind him, and he's signing an executive order against the constitutional law, and it's wrong.
Do you want to discuss that?
Sure. So what the executive order does, sir, it charges your Department of Justice with investigating instances of flag burning, and then where there's evidence of criminal activity, where prosecution wouldn't fall afoul of the First Amendment, and instructs the Department of Justice to prosecute those who are engaged in these instances of flag burning.
And what the penalty is going to be, if you burn a flag, you get 1 year in jail.
1 year in jail.
No early exits, no nothing. You get 1 year in jail.
No good time.
You get, and what it does is incite to riot. I hope they use that language, by the way. Did that? Incite to riot.
So they did. He's saying it in the English. that he's about to sign, that the outcome of breaking this law that they are putting into place does this, this, and this, and this, and here's the penalty for it.
Burn a flag, you get 1 year in jail. You don't get 10 years, you don't get 1 month. You get 1 year in jail. That goes on your record. And you will see flag burning stopping immediately, just like when I signed the Statute and Monument Act. 10 years in jail if you hurt any of our beautiful monuments. Everybody left town. They were gone. Never had a problem after that. It's pretty amazing. We stopped it. But this is something that's, I don't know, in a certain way, it's equally as important. Some people would say it's more important. Because the people in this country don't want to see our American.
There are a lot of people in this country, including myself, that doesn't want to see this. But criminalizing it, it's a constitutionally protected activity. I'm sorry. If you don't believe that, then you're full of shit.
Burned and spit on. And by people that are, in many cases, paid agitators. They're paid.
I agree with that too.
To do it. You talk to these people, they don't even know, half of them don't even know what they're doing. They say, I don't know how they gave me money to do this. I see the same things that you do. They're bad people. They're trying to destroy our nation. That's not working, because I think our nation now is the most respected nation anywhere in the world by far. You saw that with the European leaders on Friday. You saw that with NATO, where they agreed to go from 2% no pay to 5% fully paid up, trillions of dollars paid.
Smith, this ain't an opinion. He's signing it into law.
They jokingly call me the
So when they go against it,
they call me the president of Europe, which is
he just gave the federal government permission to detain you and for the U.S. attorney to charge you and convict you for a full year inside the city limits or inside the District of Columbia. Period. Those limits. He just did it. Now, like I said, it's unconstitutional. And by the time the Supreme Court was to see it, you would have had and people will be able to sue under 242 deprivation of rights later, because I think it's 2 to 3 years you have to sue. In the District of Columbia, it's the same thing as Pennsylvania. So it's 3 years, I think. Yes, it is. Go look it up. Go look it up. The Supreme Court has ruled. It's a 5-4 decision. Yes. And he's going against the Constitution as soon as they did that. Let me see this. Let me read it. Burning the flag. Is it against the law? This is how easy this is. I'm showing you how easy this is. No. Burning the flag as a form of protest is not against the law. The U.S. Supreme Court has repeatedly affirmed that flag burning is a form of symbolic speech protected under the First Amendment. Texas v. Johnson. United States v. Elchman. Texas v. Johnson was a 5-4 decision that ruled that flag burning in a political protest was constitutionally protected. There it is. Now what? This was in 1989. This one was in 1990. United States v. Elchman. I'm probably not saying that right. The following ruling: Congress passed the Flag Burn and Protect Act. The Supreme Court, listen to this, in 1990, just a year after that decision, Article 1 passed the new law. It said, following the Johnson ruling, so that's the Texas v. Johnson, passed that Flag Protection Act. The Supreme Court then struck it down, this federal law as well, reaffirming its position on flag burning as protected speech. All you got to do is look it up. It's that effing simple. You can look up. So you got Johnson, Texas versus Johnson, and the United States versus Eichmann. Eichmann. Right? There you go. That's why I was saying, do your own homework. Look this shit up. He's violating the Constitution. They put it into law, man. Reaffirming the law. They just didn't do it. In Texas versus Johnson. Remember that? They reaffirmed the Johnson Act in 1990, reaffirming it. And they struck it down in 1990. And here we go. Let's listen to him say it again. I'll shut the F up.
Executive order does, sir. It charges your Department of Justice with investigating instances of flag burning. And
5-4 decision. They called it freedom of speech. But
now there it is. There it is. So that is him reaffirming that he knows it's a constitutional law. That right there makes it under color of law.
the reason, which is perhaps much more important, it's called death. Because what happens when you burn a flag is the area goes crazy.
He has no qualified
If
immunity.
you have hundreds of people, they go crazy. You can do other things. You can burn this piece of paper. But when you burn the American flag, it incites riots at levels that we've never seen before. People go crazy.
I agree.
In a way, both ways. There's some that are going crazy for doing it. There are others that are angry about them doing it. Do you want to discuss that?
Sure. So what the executive order does, sir, it charges your Department of Justice with investigating instances of flag burning, and then where there's evidence of criminal activity, where prosecution wouldn't fall afoul of the First Amendment, and instructs the Department of Justice to prosecute those who are engaged in these instances of flag burning.
And what the penalty is going to be, if you burn a flag, you get 1 year in jail. No early exits, no nothing. You get 1 year in jail. If you burn a flag, you get, and what it does is incite to riot. I hope they use that language.
Listen to me very close. If you're going to burn a flag, I wouldn't advise you to do it, but if you're going to do it, don't say a word to nobody. Just do it. And don't talk about it. Don't laugh about it. Just do it. Because everything you say can and will be used against you. So if you get caught and you just do it, it's just the action itself, it will get overruled within 9 months of the day. Trust me.
We did that? Incite to riot. And you burn a flag, you get 1 year in jail. You don't get 10 years, you don't get 1 month. You get 1 year in jail, and it goes on your record. And you will see flag burning stopping immediately, just like when I signed the Statute and Monument Act. 10 years in jail if you hurt any of our beautiful monuments. Everybody left town. They were gone.
Totally different. It's apples and oranges. There's no law or any existing case law that protects those and says that you can't do it. Let alone him enacting a constitutional prevention to take over DC and federalize it. He's allowed to do that according to the Constitution. So there's precedent for everything on that. But the precedent that's set for this flag burning, it ain't gonna fly.
Never had a problem after that. It's pretty amazing.
And he's inciting the riots by doing
This is
it.
something that's, I don't know, in a certain way, it's equally as important. Some people would say it's more important. Because the people in this country don't want to see our American flag burned and
I don't
stolen.
either. I don't want it.
By people that are, in many cases, paid agitators. They're paid by the radical left to do it. You talk to these people, they don't even know
Where are they at?
They don't know what they're doing. They say, I don't know how to
Get a hold of me.
to do this. I see the same things that you do. They're bad people. They're trying to destroy our nation. That's not working, because I think our nation now is the most respected nation anywhere in the world by far. You saw that with the European leaders on Friday. You saw that with NATO, where they agreed to go from 2% no pay to 5% fully paid up, trillions of dollars paid, where they respect your president.
So you got to get ready for that war that's
They
coming.
jokingly call me the president of Europe. They call me the president of Europe, which is an honor. I like Europe and I like those people. They're good people. They're great leaders. And we've never had a case where 7 plus really 28, essentially 35,
This is crazy.
38 countries were represented here the other day. 38 European countries were represented. European and other countries were represented. And it was a great meeting. But your country is respected again. I say it all the time. 1 year ago, our country was dead. Everybody said it. We had a dead country.
He's conflating a lot of things here.
Now we have the hottest country anywhere in the world. So
I
it's
agree with
about to
that.
be involved, and this group has a lot to do with it, right behind me.
As soon as he signed that, he committed a crime.
Does anybody behind me have anything? Pam, would you like to say something?
Go on, Pam.
Sure, President.
There's the conspiracy right here.
You know, just a couple examples of a mother, a single mom, whose house was burglarized, and the defendant got out on cashless bail, went back the next night and burglarized her house again. That's why this is so important. A man got in a fight with another guy. He had a gun. He was let out. Next night, he got out, went back and killed him. So that's why it's so important, President, what you're doing. And thank you for protecting the American flag. And we'll do that without running afoul of the First Amendment as well. And President, I think Terry Cole,
How?
excuse me, I think Gabby Serralta had,
Let's listen to what she just said again.
so that's why it's so important, President, what you're doing. And thank you for protecting the American flag. And we'll do that without running afoul of the First Amendment.
How can you not running foul against the First Amendment when both Texas v. Johnson and what was the other one? EICH. God, I can't remember. It's because I probably can't pronounce the name correctly. Let me take a screenshot of this shit. Send that to my email. All right. That should go there. Let me make sure that it does. Yes, it did. So, again, listen to what she just said.
He had a gun. He was let out. Next night, he got out, went back and killed him. So that's why it's so important, President, what you're doing. And thank you for protecting the American flag. And we'll do that without running afoul of the First Amendment.
Without running afoul of the First Amendment. She just said, we'll do that without running afoul against the First Amendment, right? She's lying right through her teeth. Texas TV Johnson, 1989. The court overturned the conviction of Gregory Lee Johnson, who burned an American flag during a protest. 5-4 majority ruled that the government cannot prohibit the expression of the idea simply because society finds it offensive. Then in 1990, the United States versus Eichmann Eichmann. I don't know, man. I don't know how to pronounce that name. Eichmann, 1990, after the Johnson decision in 1989, Congress passed a flag burning act. So they literally, Article 1, passed a law against it again. And then the Supreme Court quickly struck it down, this federal law as well, reaffirming unconstitutional Johnson Act. They called it the Johnson Act. There it is. So she's lying right through her fucking teeth. Right here.
He was let out. Next night, he got out, went back, and killed him. So that's why it's so important, President, what you're doing. And thank you for protecting the American flag. And we'll do that without running afoul of the First Amendment as well. And President, I think I think Gabby Serralta.
Just roll for a minute. Come on, listen to this crap.
On behalf of all the law enforcement who are out there every single night.
Yes, thank you for putting me in charge of this surge. As the director of the United States Marshal Service, it's the oldest law enforcement agency. It was created in 1789. So on behalf of all the federal law enforcement agencies that we're working with and those that have yet to join the team, we thought it was only appropriate to present you with an honorary United States Marshal Service badge. And this badge comes with this little item right here, which is a handcuff key, Mr. President, because you continue through your policies and your efforts with your staff to unhandcuff law enforcement officers all over this nation. And I can tell you personally that they thank you for that.
Thank you. That's
You
beautiful.
can continue unhandcuffing law enforcement.
That's a very great honor. I'll save that and put it someplace up, which is important. Thank you very much, Gary. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Really nice. Thank you. That's very nice. Thank you. Well, we love those people. They're brave and they love our country and they don't want to see it. Do you know how many people volunteered for this job? And before I ask the VP to say a few words, because he feels very strongly about it, I think it's very important, Pam, that when we do this, that a state required, they come and ask us. I mean, I see Pritzker saying, we don't want them. In the meantime, a city is being shot to hell. And they do that politically. And they probably do want it. If we didn't go to Los Angeles, you would literally have had to call off the Olympics. It was so bad. And the sheriff and the law enforcement people, but the sheriff said, and he came out very strongly, he said, if we didn't have these people, we were not able to control it. Now, 4 days later, after we had it totally under control, we did that quickly.
I don't know, Smith, you might be. That'd be an effed up thing, wouldn't it?
They were dead. If we didn't send in the troops, Los Angeles was dead, the Olympics was gone, the World Cup was gone, everything was gone. We did a great job. And Newsom, you got an incompetent, he's an incompetent guy.
Yeah, protect Israel.
But I think people should want us to be there because otherwise all they'll do is complain.
From the river to the sea, let Israel be.
We go in, like in Washington, we go in and the people that are here that have been doing.
Had some trolls, some people. Bring that bullshit into my chat.
I don't care about if she's nice. I really don't care. I want her to do, I'd rather have her be horrible, but do the job. But we come into Washington and.
Yeah, I know.
We have the 11 best days they've had here in 2 centuries. I mean.
We even have a constitutional prevention here in Michigan.
Decades. In over 20 years.
770 point.
It's true, for 11 days you don't have crime. But before that, everybody.
245.
Was getting hit and mugged, and you people could not walk to your office.
Or 780.245.
That's how unsafe it was.
That's the Michigan's Constitution even has it.
Let them.
But the Johnson rule,
They go to hell, and when they come,
they're
they
using
ask us to help. The only
it to put those blue line flags on our cars, which is ridiculous.
People here, 95% of the people here want us. The real people, not the people you find. I don't know where you find these people.
Yeah,
You have one person that's a
Smith, it is constitutional.
was mugged. Good.
You know, we should be out there burning all those flags, every one of them. Pride flags, Canada flags, Mexican flags, all of them. You're going to burn one, burn them all.
I don't know where you find these people.
The hell with it.
Anyway, would you say a couple of words, please? And then I'm going to ask JD to say something. You have done an unbelievable job.
No, Jasper, I don't. I don't.
You know who, right?
Yes, sir.
I don't want, nor would I ever want to see the American flag burn for any other reason than freedom of expression. And the reason why I'm saying that is because it shouldn't be, because it's a constitutional law. It's the context, all right? It's the context that we're talking about here. The narrative and the context behind it. It's freedom. We are a nation of law under a republic of freedom. And we have the right to express ourselves. As long as we're not committing a crime while burning it, you should be able to burn it. But all Donald Trump is doing, and the right and the left, they're conspiring to piss you guys off. Whatever side you're on, it doesn't matter. Guys like me that wouldn't burn a flag, now I want to burn a flag. Because I live in a constitutional republic where I'm free. I can do anything I want. I bought that, it's mine. If I want to burn it, I can burn it. Okay? And you will not find me. I'll tell you what, if you ever see Wolvie burn a flag, it's to make the point that I can. Just like when I say happy fuck the police day, man, I love these cops, man. The majority of these cops out here, that the shit that they have to endure, I'm not a bootlicker. I'm not going to sit there and lick their effing boots, but I know what they go through. And yes, they're assholes just like you are. If you believe, and if you got butt hurt off of what I just said, it's because you're an asshole just like I am, and just like they are. It's human beings. They're going to make mistakes. And they're going to abuse things just like you would. If that badge was put on you and the decisions was made to you, you would turn it around on the good people. The people that you call bootlickers, you would make them suffer. You would let them go to jail. And your excuse is, well, they need to see how it feels. How do you like it? See, everybody's got this complex, just like racism. Black people think it's okay to hate white racist people. No, it's not. It doesn't excuse being racist. That's why I don't like affirmative action or anything other that would enable the other side, because the color of their skin to cut in front of the line because of the color of their skin. It's discrimination, and it's racist against other people. So DEI and all these executive orders that people have written in the past, it's all unconstitutional, every bit of it. I'm just going to tell it like it is. I'm telling the truth. I'm not lying to none of you people. I'm not trying to deceive you. I'm not trying to manipulate you or bring you to bring you to wrath. And when I say F the police, I do it because it's freedom of speech. And it tells me everything about the cop that I'm looking at. If he gets butt hurt and allows that, if he allows that to hurt his feelings, to violate the Constitution, to violate his oath, to violate his code of conduct and public trust that he has signed of code of conduct, if he violates all that, he shouldn't be a cop. I look at people after I say it, you took it well, man. I give them a bump, man. I get along with all kinds of police that get it. That knows that they're not our lords. They're just and I was talking this weekend where I was recording and I stopped recording because I wanted to show them something. I'm not all about this, grandstanding shit. My point I made off the books was, you guys are not lords to walk around amongst us. You are a public servant, and when I lose my authority out here as an individual with constitutional rights, and you as the public servant serving me, where I lose my authority over you is when I commit a crime in your presence. That's when I lose my authority. And then you are paid to extinguish and to execute certain specific laws that you swore an oath to protect this nation from. So if I created a victim in front of them, they're supposed to arrest me. They're doing their damn jobs. But if I'm out here just running my mouth and I'm in the middle of a protest and they're all aggravated at other people that got them aggravated and they scapegoat me and now they want to beat on me, put torture cuffs on me and put me in the back of a police car and put me in a jail cell just to try to, take the ride to punish me. That's what makes them evil. And that's what makes them, they're gonna burn in hell if they believe in their God. I'm telling you, if he's real, and if you're gonna stand in front of him on Judgment Day, you're gonna be judged for that stuff. And I'm not trying to be a preacher. I'm not. Even though a lot of people say that I should, I'm not, because I contradict myself too much when it comes to my foul mouth. I got a foul mouth, man. And I contradict that. And that is a moral that I should not be breaking. If I was to go back and look, man, from 2014 all the way up to 2019, almost 5 years, I was going to church regularly. I was serving God. I was even paying my tithes. I did not cuss. I didn't hang around people that did. The Bible tells us to come out from among them and be ye separate. Be holy as your God, as your Lord God is holy. So you got to try to refrain from the negativity of this world and try to keep it under subjection. But the problem was George Floyd happened, and I seen the contradiction. The do as I say and not as I do, and I felt like a sheep, and I've never been a sheep. Those people that know me, I used to bench 405, run 2 miles a week. I was an amateur, boxing. Yeah, I used to stand in there and get my ass whooped a few times to learn how to box back in the day. I wouldn't even say I got the amateur status, but I knew what I was doing. I could hold my own. And I wasn't tough. I would basically prove that other people wasn't tough. Now I'm just a dried up, shoveled up sack of shit, I guess. Because 13.2 thousand bullets through me killed me. So it is what it is. I lived and God spared my life, and I have to give him the glory for it. But understanding this country, understanding the values of this country and the republic that it stands upon, understanding those things in a mature factor, in being honest with myself, I'm not going to lie. I'd have to say if Jesus was to come right now, I wouldn't make it. Because I'm a sinner. I need to get that right. I do. But getting back, I usually don't talk religion and politics. I don't. But what I'm seeing here goes with everything that I'm against inside this community. And what Donald Trump has done, take your biases and all that other crap, your fake racism and your LGBTQ talking points, and shove them up your rear end, because that's not what I'm trying to get behind. That has nothing to do with, not that they don't have. I know plenty of people they're cool, they're good people, they're human beings just like I am, and they have equal rights just like me. But they don't shove their morals and their values down my throat, which makes them respectable, which makes them honorable to me. And that's how we honor each other, by avoiding conversations where we'll agree to disagree. You don't ask me questions that you know that I will be held accountable in my religion, that I know that's wrong, that it specifically tells you not to do it because it's an abomination to God. I'm going to answer the godly way. And yeah, they might kill me and do what they do, but if I die for Christ, man, looks like you're going to do me a favor. Ultra mega. That's that mega stuff, guys. You do know them are just talking points, man, right? You do know that is a left wing talking point or a right wing stand. Either way, you're letting the cat out of the bag. Because they're being Smith. Because, brother, what do I look like, man? I asked the chat why. Because they don't do that shit around here. We don't have these problems around here. People ain't making that a big deal. People that are gay live gay. People that are doing things that churches disagree with, they have a First Amendment right to do it, and they do it in broad daylight. People are not biased in our neighborhood. Where I live, man, I mean, the greater metropolitan area, it's not like that, man. We're not debating these things. These things ain't up for debate. I could go out there and burn that flag, and I'm sure a couple of my neighbors wouldn't like it, but they wouldn't say a fucking word to me, because they mind their own business. Just like if they was to go out and do it in front of me, I would probably mind my own business. But if it was a U.S. flag, I'd be like, damn, what does country do to you, brother? Let's see if we can't fix that. Let's go to our local magistrates. Let's go to our, I would try to come out with some, common sense to refine whatever's going on. But if they looked at me and said, because he said that I couldn't, I'd say, all is well. And I'd give him a fist bump, and I'd walk away from him, because you got that right to do it. You got that right to do it, man. And that's what he's inciting. This is what he wants. That's what the left wants. That's what the right wants. The right and the left, they're at full civil war right now. They're about to throw the Constitution in the garbage. I've been watching them do it for a very long time. If you're just catching up to this stuff, I'm telling you, man, they've been doing this a long time. Here, let's listen to the rest of this. Let's go ahead and listen to the whole thing of the 3 constitutional preventions that he did today. that he
They thought it was
that he signed into law.
They lay them down on the road and they sit there for months. But we don't do that. We don't run things. We run things like we run this. We like clean, we like beautiful, we like safe, and that's what we're getting. So I'll start signing the executive orders. To me, this is a very, very big deal. One of the executive orders has to do with cashless bail. That was when the big crime in this country started. And I can tell you who did it, when, but I don't want to do that because others followed pretty quickly. But that was when it happened. Somebody kills somebody, they go in, don't worry about it, no cash, come back in a couple of months, we'll give you a trial. You never see the person again. And I mean, they kill people.
He's right about that.
Cashless bail. They thought it was discriminatory to make people put up money because they just killed 3 people lying on a street. Any street, all over the country, cashless bail. We're ending it, but we're starting by ending it in DC, and that we have the right to do through federalization. Okay, let's go. Could I ask you to say exactly what this is?
Of course. So as you've consistently identified, sir, cashless bail policies are a key driver of the disorder we see on city streets all over America. Catch and release system allows criminals to keep going back out onto the street and reoffending. What this executive order does, it charges your attorney general with identifying jurisdictions all over the country that have cashless bail policies, and then it withholds or revokes federal funds and grants that are flowing to those jurisdictions to ensure that we're only supporting the people who have reasonable common sense policies around crime.
So what area does it cover?
Potentially anywhere that has a cashless bail policy, so some of the largest cities, some of the most left-wing states in America have
Almost all of
adopted.
them, right?
Illinois would be a great example of that, sir.
Oh, they have a great cashless bail. You don't even have to go to court sometimes. Illinois, I love that state. It's a great state, but it's run so badly by Pritzker. They threw him out of the family business and he becomes governor. Now he wants to run for president. I don't think that's going to happen. Okay, we'll sign right here, right?
Sir.
So important. And this isn't Republican, Democrat. This is, and by the way, most Democrats agree with us. But this is just, we got to bring our country back.
I don't know.
Okay? That's a big one.
Also on the issue of cashless bail, sir, this is a DC-specific executive order. In addition to the measures that we're taking that are quite similar to what we're doing around the country, in DC in particular, the objective is holding as many criminal defendants in federal custody and subjecting them to federal charges as possible. That means that they'll be held pre-trial in federal jail as opposed to just being cut back out on the streets due to a cashless
They just
bail.
took my my clipboard away from me. I don't know how to get in it.
And we have the room. And by the way, the prison they have in
My green screen gone.
DC is horrible. It's horrible. People were subjected to live in that dog trap for so long, so unfairly. I have stories, you'll be hearing about them. That prison is horrible. Okay.
This is an executive order that contains a number of additional measures around the country, specifically trained and equipped to deal with public order issues. It charges all of your various federal law enforcement agencies with hiring additional personnel to allow them to surge personnel to Washington, D.C. to deal with the current emergency.
All right, there it is. Good.
It does a number of other things in that space, and it also
Sorry about that.
asks the Attorney General to look at DC Metropolitan Police general orders that have currently impeded law enforcement efforts in the city, and to potentially look at unwinding those that are stopping the police from doing their job effectively.
And are we going to ask this to be codified by Congress, all of these things?
I think we could potentially, yes, sir.
I think so.
So I think their lawyers are going to codify that, which is double down on its legitimacy. So it's already legitimate that he can do what he's doing right now because it's in the Constitution that allows him to do it because there's precedent for it. It's a literal act that he can enact, like FEMA. You know what I'm saying? You know how you enact FEMA? It's the same thing with this. You can enact the federal government to police the police and to take over the District of Columbia because it's not a city and it's not a state. You know, it's ran by the legislators and it's ran by Article 1, 2, and 3. So what he's doing is enacting that. Whether you agree with that, it's constitutional, but I'm going to show you where it gets unconstitutional and where he actually commits a crime using their rules, not ours.
I think we'll get it. I think Democrats will vote. Well, I don't know. It's hard to believe that they might not, but I think Democrats will actually vote for this. There's no auto pen that can do that. Is that a good signature? Seriously, is that a good signature? Who can write like that? Nobody.
Yeah, I hear you. Who's going to wipe our ass, right? I got you.
We're looking at the whole auto pen scandal. Because the person that ran it said he spoke to it briefly twice about nothing. That means that all those partners that he gave to some very
Got to pick your own crops. Yep.
It looks to me like those partners are worthless. Because number one, you shouldn't use an auto pen very specifically.
Yeah.
And if you do, it has to be a very good reason. And
Trump started to list
that the president wanted it. The
his
president
name in
wanted
the top
this.
left corner of what?
The
Slow down.
president didn't know he was alive, okay?
Can't
He
talk
never
about
approved
the
any of this
list.
stuff.
Sad, yeah.
He wasn't for open borders and all the other things. He was never for open borders. I've known Biden a long time. He was never very sharp, but he was never in favor of
Wait a
open
minute.
borders
You
and
could
all
still
the other
get
things he did to destroy
time
our
for
country.
weed
But
federally. Yeah, you can.
executive order on flag burning.
It's a federal law.
Attorney General.
If you listen to this is very important.
It's kind of like my gun rights. I got in the state I got my gun rights, but federally I don't. So I can't nor will I be able to own a gun or take it out into if I had one, I couldn't take it out there because federally it's against the law. I guess Donald Trump is supposed to be making some prevention on that. I don't know. What I can't understand is why Chicago and New York is they don't have no Second Amendment rights.
All over the country, they're burning flags. All over the world, they burn the American flag. And as you know, through a very sad court, I guess it was a 5-4 decision, they called it freedom of speech. But there's another reason.
It's called the Supreme Court, Mr. President. You know, the same one that you got? And I guarantee it, I dare your ass, Mr. President, which I know he's not listening, but I dare your ass to put it in front of the conservative one that you got now. They ain't gonna change nothing.
Which is perhaps much more important. It's called death. Because what happens when you burn a flag is the area goes crazy. If you have hundreds of people, they go crazy. You can do other things. You can burn this piece of paper. But when you burn the American flag, it incites riots at levels that we've never seen before. People go crazy. In a way, both ways. There are some that are going crazy for doing it. There are others that are angry about them doing it. Do you want to discuss that?
Sure. So what the executive order does there, it charges your Department of Justice with investigating instances of flag burning, and then where there's evidence of criminal activity where prosecution wouldn't fall afoul of the First Amendment, instructs the Department of Justice to prosecute those who are engaged in these instances of flag burning.
And what the penalty is going to be, if you burn a flag, you get 1 year in jail.
My man, hey, you haven't been, you haven't watched what I've seen.
And what it does is,
I've seen 9 specific cases where they've called attempted murder, a robbery, a murder, a felony assault, all that. They broke them down to like small misdemeanors and loitering charges and stuff. Yeah, it's on the books, man. You just got to go do your homework, man. See, that's what I'm trying to say. On the right and on the left, they have all the tools to give just enough information to make you and I debate this. Do you get it now? The right and the left are the wing of the same bird. They know what they're doing. Do you know what we're doing here? We're not into politics here. Right now, I'm trying to point out that he's taken away a speech issue away from you to tell you that you cannot burn a flag. I think people should be burning pride flags. If you're going to burn an American flag, you need to be out there burning them fly. You need to be burning the Mexican flag, the Puerto Rican flag, the Italy flags, the all of them, all 50, whatever's at the United Nations. Get one per each and pile them all up and burn them all. Burn them all. You burn one, you burn them all. Because what you really don't understand, and I'm going to make this very clear to you. Your right to do it, I respect it. But I'm going to make sure you know what you're doing before you do it. If you're going to burn a flag, I want you to go back and I want you to read what we were stopping in Nazi Germany. I want you to read what Japan tried on us. I want you to read on all those American sailors that was minding their own business that day. An unprovoked attack against those people. I want you to know why they died. And I want you to know why we fought back and won. And melted their shadows to the walls. I want you to know why. I don't agree with that type of stuff. But unfortunately, that's how we have to win. Because our people were dying. We were being murdered. We were being attacked. That's why Donald Trump, and I see what he's trying to do with Putin and Ukraine. I see what he's doing. He's trying to stop that. He says over 7,000 people a month are dying. For what? Why? Why? You can't be you call it this, but I don't want you can't be a giver and then take something back. You just can't do it. If you give something 9/10 of the law, boom, it's the person that's in possession of it. You can't just take it back because you don't like them or you don't like what they've done with it, unless you got a contract stating that. Then you take it to court. You do it the right way. But you can't just take something away from something because you don't like it. And it's in the effing law. You can't stop somebody from burning a flag in protest for any reason.
They use that language, by the way, did they? Incite to riot.
I don't agree with it, but just know what you're doing. Know what you're doing. Know exactly what's going on. Look at not just World War I, look at World War II. If we didn't get involved, do you know there'd be a bunch of blue-eyed, blonde-haired motherfuckers running around? And it would run this whole world? Is that what you want? Think about burning that flag before you burn it, because that's what you're burning. You're disrespecting those people that stopped the xenophobic bullshit that was going on that caused Hitler to commit genocide against his own people, let alone the world. Think about it. Think about it.
You'll get 10 years, you don't get 1 month. You get 1 year in jail, and it goes on your record. And you will see flag burning stopping immediately, just like when I signed the Statute and Monument Act.
Yeah, but it just happened all over the country.
Beautiful monuments, everybody left
because they're going to go against you.
Gone. Never had a problem.
They hate you.
It's pretty amazing. We stopped it. But this is something that's, I don't know, in a certain way, it's equally as important. Some people would say it's more important. Because the people in this country don't want to see our American flag burned and spit on. And
Agreed.
by people that are, in many cases, paid agitators. They're paid by the radical left.
So
to
what?
do it. You talk to these people, they don't even know, half of them don't even know what they're doing. They
Agreed.
say, "Well, they gave me money to do this." I see the same things that you do. They're bad people. They're trying to destroy our nation.
Agreed.
It's not working because I think our nation now is the most respected nation anywhere in the world by far.
Agreed.
You saw that?
But it doesn't give you the right to break a constitutional law that makes you just as bad as Hitler. Hitler started with that shit.
The European leaders on Friday, you saw that with NATO where they agreed to go from 2% no pay to 5%.
See how they're
fully
conflating
paid,
everything?
Trillions of dollars paid, where they respect your president to a level that they jokingly call me the president.
And then
of
listen to
Europe.
Pam Bondi.
They call me the president of Europe, which is
I did
not
have a
right.
little respect for her until she said what she said. Oh, we're going to enforce this law and to its fullest and make sure that everything gets done. I'm just paraphrasing what she's saying. And without disrespecting the First Amendment. Listen to this bullshit.
And I like those people. They're good people. They're great leaders. And we've never had a case where 7 plus really 28, essentially 38 countries were represented here the other day. 38 European countries were European and other countries were represented. And it was a great meeting. But your country is respected again. I say it all the time. 1 year ago, our country was dead. Everybody said it. We had a dead country. We were not going to survive. Now we have the hottest country anywhere in the world. So it's an honor to be involved. And this group has a lot to do with it right behind me.
Well, they're laughing at
Does
you
anybody behind me have
more than they're laughing at anybody. More people in this chat are laughing at this guy right here.
You know, just a couple examples of a mother, a single mom.
Listen to
whose
this.
house
Listen to
was
this
burglarized,
conflation.
and
Word
the
salad.
defendant got out on cashless bail, went back the next night and burglarized her house again. That's why this is so important. A man got in a fight with another guy. He had a gun. He was let out.
I agree with the cashless bail. I think some people should have a bail. Murderers, rapists, and, people robbing banks. Yeah, But these everyday, I don't even know what to call them. To me, it's corporate law, These debates people are having, the arguments, these petty assaults, all this other dumb shit. All that shit should be PR'd, But as far as like murder, capital, crimes, major crimes, yeah. And it's sad that he has to write an executive order. So what they're doing is they'll get the majority of our opinions to agree, and then they'll put one bad one with it that totally violates the Constitution. And we're not supposed to think about this at all. For real.
Next night, he got up, went back, and killed him. So that's why it's so important.
Yeah, it is. A word salad is a lot of conflated stuff. So when she conflated people and cashless bail against people burning a flag, that's apples and oranges. That's a word salad to me. Same thing.
Thank you for protecting the American flag, and we'll do that without
manipulation.
running afoul of the First Amendment
Good.
as well. And
Did you hear that? She said,
Excuse me, I think Gavin
she said
Peralta-
it's not going to go foul against the First Amendment. Yeah, it is. Texas v. Johnson, man.
defendant.
Just because you think you're saying something in my chat and I'm letting you say it, I'm giving you your First Amendment right to say it. Doesn't mean that you have a First Amendment right here. You do know that, right? You signed a contract with YouTube. You do know that, right? Do you understand that? That you don't have free speech. You and I are dictated by this. Remember that. Yeah, it is. But hold up a second. Let's go back. Should it be a crime at all? Fishy. Yeah. Yeah. Go down there and clean up all them cigarette butts down there in the basement. Disrespect me or my country, fuck you.
Got out on
It's one of the best
Cash's
countries in
bail,
the world.
went back the next night and burglarized her house again.
That's why I'm just.
why this is so
That's why I
important.
love
A man
the
got
fact that I
fired.
could sit here and talk to my subscribers and say, "Hey, man, this guy's wrong. This guy right here is out of his fucking mind. Everything that he's did all the way up to that point, that last freaking executive order that he signed, they're running it concurrent with the other crap that they're doing. It's like it's like the big beautiful bill. There's a lot of good stuff in there that funded certain things, that funded education, that funded some of our streets, that funded gave law enforcement a little bit more money to update their jails a little better, to so the people that are doing time in there can be a little bit more comfortable with decent running water. I'm just saying, it is what it is.
Another guy. He had a gun. He was let out. Next night, he got out, went back and killed him.
See?
So that's why it's so important, President, what you're doing. And thank you.
I agree with her on that. But they're conflating the other crap. Burning a flag has absolutely nothing to do with, the freedom of burning a flag absolutely has nothing to do with the cashless bail stuff. Nothing. They're criminalized. Understand it separately by itself, ladies and gentlemen. They are criminalizing a constitutionally protected activity. And that's what makes them a tyrant. And that's what makes them, if they've taken an oath and they violated an oath. Aaron B. Cooper. You guys that disagree with me, look at Aaron B. Cooper. Those of you that have taken an oath, undertaken to support it, has committed treason. It's supposed to be a 5-year penalty.
For protecting the American flag, and we'll do that without running afoul of the First Amendment as well. And President, I think I think Gabby Serralta had something he wanted to give you on behalf of all the law enforcement who are out there every single night.
Yes, thank you for putting me in charge of this surge. As the director of the United States Marshal Service, it's the oldest law enforcement agency. It was created in 1789. So on behalf of all the federal law enforcement agencies that we're working with and those that have yet to join the team, we thought it was only appropriate to present you with an honorary United States Marshal Service badge. And this badge comes with this little item right here, which is a handcuff key, Mr. President, because you continue through your policies and your efforts with your staff to unhandcuff.
With that badge that they're giving him, Understand this, ladies and gentlemen. They just gave the United States president a federal law enforcement badge. He is now a United States Marshal because he's already taken an oath. They gave him a handcuff key. He's now law enforcement. Y'all don't see that?
Law enforcement officers all over this nation. And I can tell you personally that they thank you for that.
Thank you. That's
You
beautiful.
can continue unhandcuffing.
Wow.
That's a very great honor. I'll save that and put it someplace up, which is important. Thank you very much. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Very nice. Thank you. That's very nice. Thank you. Well, we love those people. They're brave and they love our country and they don't want to see it. Do you know how many people volunteered for this job? And before I ask the VP to say a few words, because he feels very
Speechless.
strongly about it, I think it's very important, Pam, that when we do this,
Effing speechless, man.
they come and ask us. I mean, I see Pritzker saying, we don't want them. In the meantime, his city is being shot to hell. And they do that politically. And they probably do want it.
Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and end this, man. Y'all have a great day. God bless. I'm back quiet reading the mail.